Yo guys, it's Asmodeus GGL, the guy who loves to level ban you 24/7, and you're listening to Cecil's audio.
Alright, welcome back everybody. This is actually one of a 2 vs 2 featured audios that I will be doing for you guys. This is me and Fear. If you were familiar to the Warcraft scene last year, this was the guy that I got rank 1 with during November until January or something like that. But we are back since we are in the same clan and all. And so far we are undefeated, so it's looking good for us. And today's replay is actually a match, probably the only replay that I have of me and Fear doing some 2s, because this is probably the best team we have gone up against so far. With our ELL slowly raising, that means that we're going to start facing some really good teams. And also I have a 2 vs 2 account, actually some 2 vs 2 records with Newbie GGL on this account as well. I'm sorry, actually it's me and Newbie that are undefeated, and it is me and Fear that have, I think, 2 losses, one of them being a disconnect and the other one I forgot what the hell happened. But anyways, I hope this is at the 15-second mark at the 1x speed. If not, I'll give you guys a little bit of time to do that, or you can just pause the audio right now and get right to it, because there is a lot to be done in this match. So here we go. Let's get this unpaused in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, unpause. Alrighty, so the strategy that I do here is actually very similar to how me and Newbie GGL do ours. I'll be sure to try to get another replay with me and Newbie shortly, hopefully. And basically what the start of this is presenting to the opponent an uncontrollable amount of units, which the only possible way to do that is either mass the living hell out of Tier 1, which can easily be stopped, or you could mass them with these huge unstoppable summon units. So a lot of summonable heroes are used. Sounds like a fairly simple strategy, right? Sounds like your army will win itself, because I mean you don't really need to put too much micro into summoned units. It's the real ones that you really got to worry about. So it shouldn't really require too much, you know, skill to really use it, but believe me, it takes a lot of concentration, a lot of timing, especially a lot of macro to get this down. So we're just starting to basically get our stuff ready here. It's a standard procedure. If you're a Night Elf on this map, take advantage of the fact that you're the only race that can have their guys gathering lumber anywhere where you want on the map. So that's the reason why I have the Wisp on the upper part of the hill there. You'll also find me getting a position on the shop area on the top of this map at about the 12 o'clock. Actually, every area of this map, the 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions of the map, I can get a Wisp on there, and I can get a really good spot to scout them out with. And Phoenix Chili is trying to do the same thing. He put his Wisp at the same spot, well, tried to, as me. And if you take a look at his Wisp, you can easily see, I mean, I have Phoenix's vision on right now, and you can easily see that he can see if I'm going up there. But if he got the position that I did, which he really couldn't really help himself out with, he would be able to see outside of the base as well. So he's starting to get his guys around here. They're going for a Demon Hunter and a Farseer. Now this is kind of different from what we expected. I told Vic on the Ventrilo that we were using that they go for a Keeper Farseer, because that's what they did to me and Newbie when we were over at the GGL LAN. We decided to play some 2s together, and we got them at the middle of the thing. So we were expecting a Keeper Farseer like we had last time. So here comes Fear. He brings out some of his militia, as he is very well known to do. And I try to get a detonate in there that works, but I accidentally zap the mana out of the Beastmaster. Doesn't really matter either way, because I couldn't bring another Quoby Stouts. But we do manage to kill a Grunt, which is another thing that Fear is well known to do, which is surround the living crap out of you and piss you off to no end. So that is the strategy in action here. Kills that water elemental. Nice shot by the Demon Hunter. constantly getting some mana burns off on us. We cannot summon anything outside of what is already out right now. So you're going to see this constant chase after this Demon Hunter to try to surround him. And he is almost getting the opportunity. When he stops to get a mana burn, we almost get the spot right there. I'm going to try to help him out. I'm going to also try to occupy that Farseer. He is. And I'm going to occupy the Demon Hunter. Now I have a bunch of archers back in my base. I kept them inside of my base for obvious reasons. He had a Farseer. He had some wolves out there. He could easily chase down all of those archers, and I would probably lose a few archers. So we are just going to wait. I told Fear, alright, if you try hard enough, you can totally occupy them with some surrounds, just chasing them out of the way, which is working right now. See, he said that he'll just hold the entrance, make sure that nothing too terrible goes wrong, and so that's what he is going to do, and I am going to continue on to go creeping. Now he does just bring the footmen out there. The footmen are going to do their thing. The Archmage will stay up there and just help out a little bit. So they're on to our plan, so he does try to send that Demon Hunter out there. I'm going to try to shut him out, and I think I actually lose a few archers into this. Yep. They get a very nice shot at those. There we go. Just bringing... See, that's another advantage that you have. There goes Fear once again with his strategy to just totally surround all of their units, which in Warcraft has gotten him also known as an ass. But glad he's on my team. So there goes two things that I wanted to mention out to you. Fear's uses of his footmen, and me using my surroundings. Another example of macro. Just don't stare at what you have on the screen. Look around, look at your surroundings. I had a wisp at the entrance there. He just summoned out those two wolves, so I'm just going to use a detonate on them. And I mean, it's effective as hell, because I mean, he just summoned them out there. It's going to be a while till he can get a few more out there. So we're ready for our Fire Lords, and both of us will get Fire Lord second. And what that does, one Fire Lord we realized is able to be controlled. You can easily take control of it, and it's not really... it can be handled, no problem. So that's why we go two Fire Lords, because it would take them way too much time to try to take down all of those lava spawns and stuff, and it's just, really bad for them. And so they're going to try to take out this Fire Lord, so we take advantage of their move here to try to do that, and we successfully force them away for a little bit. So we are almost ready. Just once you get to the tier 2, just a little moments afterwards, that's when you're ready to go. Once you have a few Dryads and you have a few dots to go along with your army. So we're just going to wait a little bit. You can probably get some yellow creeps done once you get your two Fire Lords out, and then afterwards, that's when you got to make your move. Because this strategy, it won't last at all into the late game, because at that time they have way too many counters for it. Your best bet is if they have counters in the forms of casters, when you can just use fairy dragons and win the game from that. But otherwise, you really got to finish this game fast. There still is a chance. I mean, I'm getting my primary skills in bears right now, so I am going to have a few bears out. And with our development of rifles, he's going to go rifle caster, and I'm just going to go straight up elf casters and archers. Sometimes you'll see us make a switch from... me make a switch to huntresses. That's if too many of their counters go against our range, and then if some unarmored huntresses are needed, we can just plop those in there. So right now the aim is to get level 3, and in fact before you fight any huge battles, because it'll get me those very, very helpful level 2 bears. Because if you look at our army, our strongest front line right now, lion footmen that have 420 health and only 2 armor. So we just want to make that a little easier for us. We realize that, alright, right now we're on the brink of our next levels. The Archmage is almost level 3. Same thing with the Beastmaster. And so we just realized, alright, let's just get this done first. So if you find an opportunity like we just found right now, where it's safe, it's okay to get that level, because right now we could attack, but it'd just be a lot helpful if we had another level on us. So okay, I had a wisp to scout out where he's going, so we found that, and we know where they are. I pinged to the map saying, alright, this is our golden opportunity once here, sticking to some macro ideas here. We see a Tauren totem. See, right now is a perfect time to attack. Here's one thing to remember. Once you have a decent amount of tier 2, or you have a strategy that's dependent on some tier 2, now is the perfect time to attack somebody who's making some tier 3 buildings, or just working on some more advanced tech. Here's your example. He's trying to get some Taurens, so that's why we attacked at that time, got a good opportunity. And it's a little hard right now for Phoenix to make his move, because he tried to go for a bear tech, and so he's got to wait a little bit until these bears have their ability. That's another reason why we could also attack a little earlier. If they're going to try to get a counter with some heavy tech, it's just not going to work, because it's going to take them way too long to get those bears out. See, right now he had the 2 versus 1 until he was ready to do this, and so we get in position. Once we see that TP, we are ready to go. The targets that I am focusing on are first any very weak huntresses, and then I'm going to move on to the bears. The reason why I move on to the bears is because Fear can take out the huntresses a little faster. Here's where I get the fairy dragons right now. They do take out our fire lord, so it's looking bad almost. And so I manually cast a slow onto the Naga Sea Witch. I select his sorceress, I cast slow, and then I immediately start to focus fire onto that Naga Sea Witch, because with the slow poison and with slow cast on initially, it just makes it really hard and makes the strategy take down heroes at a lightning fast pace. Any long battles, which are usually the game deciding battles, won't last too long, because it'll just start to get uncontrollable. All of these lava spawns, all of these bears that I keep throwing out after them, even when he has a demon hunter. Even when I have all this stuff, it just makes it really difficult for them to manage half of our army being consisted of summons. Now, this match is just about over. Yep, they just left the game. Now, possible differences that could be done in this one. The TP by Phoenix could have been back a little bit, even though I don't know. I mean, the TP, it really wasn't really as bad as you can think, because that way he flanked us, because all we had, the majority of our army were a bunch of ranged, so they were frontlining. Our ranged units were frontlining, and what we had was a Tauren chieftain on their side, just to use some shockwaves and to just keep that going through our army, because the way that he TP'd in, it got a perfect position for that TC to use a good shockwave on us. So my suggestion, if you come up against this strategy, would be the best thing to do is to fight fire with fire. I mean, fire lords, I guess, for that matter, because so far we haven't found a way to outlast it. And I know what you're thinking. We have a loss on our profile, or so far as I've told you, one of them being a disconnect, of course. But the loss came from the fact that in the middle of the game, Fear accidentally got a Blood Mage as the second hero, and just that small difference, that small little alteration, forced us to keep playing the game out into the late game, and that strategy can't work in the late game. And just that one Fire Lord was, I mean, just actually the subtraction of just one summonable hero it can't work as good. I mean, if you have all 4 just throwing out summons to them, it's going to make it pretty hard. And if it does go to the late game, if you do want to use this strategy, the third hero that you want to get if you're the human player would be the Beastmaster. And the third hero that you'd want to get if you're Night Elf, I would probably recommend what else? I guess maybe Keeper, I don't know. It's best that you actually take that money into some scrolls, because by the time you're in the late game, they're going to have some mass AoE, and you want to have something to help absorb the impact of that. But the strategy actually takes more macro than it does micro. Because, I mean, like I said, the summons, they sort of play themselves out. So it's all really how you are in tune with the game that'll determine how well that you use this strategy. That's a wrap for this one, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. And I will see you all on Battle.net. Take care.